Okay everyone, right, we're going to move on. I've shown you in the previous video how to install the basic radio if that's all you want to do, but we are fitting the multifunction control unit, so let's get on to that. We'll get the floor for both the sleeper cab and the cab itself. Right, if you didn't check out that video, yes, I have taken everything apart again just to show you how we do this. What am I doing here? Yeah, I'm right. That's okay. I was doubting myself then. So BF1 tap-in screws, 8mm long. And again, I'm not going to do too much waffling. I've built a couple of grand haulers and they're almost the same, almost identical in every way. The grand hauler is a little bit longer and has a little bit more bling on the chrome work. These ones point upwards. I used to call it the bling hauler because it was very custom, which a lot of people like it. I'm not a fan of stretched rigs, like I've said in previous videos. I think it's an American thing, doesn't appeal to me, but I've seen some of these grand haulers that people have done, and the ones that my friends have, and they are absolutely gorgeous. My favourite, I have to confess, I do have a favourite, and that's the Jack Daniel grand hauler for Joe Blingman. What a machine that is. What a machine. Absolutely credit to the guy. It was his first build. What a fantastic job he's done. I'm going to put a picture up here of it, right, because it is that good. I'm going to show it off. Right, couple of step bolts, and make sure you get these the right way. This flat part goes towards the rear. Yeah, the booze mobile, as Joe calls it, which is a very fitting name. I don't know if you've seen on the Facebook group, there's another friend of mine has shown off all his models, and what an impressive lineup that is. A brick trailer, Stu Loud. What an absolute master when he builds trucks. The attention to detail he does is incredible. There's such a lot of good builders out there. Make sure these pinholes line up so they are in line with the battery tray. So these pins, because if they're this way, the back door of the sleeper panel catches on them. And personally, I don't use the battery bars on these because they're not jumping around where the battery will fall out. You have to do some serious off-roading for that to be able to jump out of there. But yeah, that's all that is. Battery compartment. If you want to run LiPo, then you might have to make this a little bit bigger, but that's a whole new story. Right, let's get rid of the excess weight. We don't need the battery because we're not going to be plugging anything in because we haven't installed it yet. So that is the cab floor. Now for the seats, I've just painted some green stripes on it. We have white mud flaps, so I thought I'd paint the seats white with some green stripes that match the body, and the bases are just a neutral colour. So let's put that over there. Turn the floor upside down and then put the seat on. Excuse me. Who's got the roller? And then just line that up. There's these two locating pegs that the seat base just fits on. That's that done, and that's that done. That's section 33 all done, ready to fit in the interior. Let's move them to one side for a second, and then bring this over to here, and you can see what I've done is the servo cables just here. Let me zoom down on that so you guys can see. Two servo cables I've run down the side of the transmission, just down there, see? So they come out the back of the transmission. It just keeps things a little neater. That's what I've done. And then while we're just there, we can put on this front cab floor, posi drive screwdriver, and some, what are these, what size are them? They're BB5 12mm from Parts Bag B. There's 4 of those. Now I might take this floor off again, because what I'm going to try and do is when I put the front lights in, I'm going to route them under the cab floor, so this might come off again. There are silver screws on that one because it says on the parts list that they are those two. So that's on. And now this sleeper cab, where the MFC will be going. And in a previous video, don't know if you've seen that, but because we fitted this option coupler plate, let's bring that over here and just zoom in slightly. This piece here would hit the bottom of this cab here. So what you have to do is you have to remove this portion. So that fits over it like that. And then it covers up these two mounting screws. Quite a neat little thing. There's a small gap here, which is brilliant. And then because we're fitting the MFC, I've blanked it out, but there's a hole under there. I blanked it out for the previous video because people were saying my floor doesn't have a hole in it. Mine does. And it's just that bit in there. Keep this in for the strength and just take that out there. Doesn't have to be too neat, you're never going to see it. I've also drilled 2 extra holes here. You can see something's already been fitted on there, and I'll show you what that is. Zoom out. Basically, I made the false wall, right? Showed you how I did that in the last video, so if you want to see that, I'll leave a link below. So what I'll do is I'll reassemble this. I did take it apart because I wanted to do a basic radio install. That's gone on the floor. And that's gone right over there. It's amazing how these things bounce, knocking the camera everywhere. So put these spacers back in. These spacers are just in there to stop the bolt from crushing. I tell you what, before I put them in, I will actually bolt them back down. This is where tweezers come in handy. Just hold the screw and just plop it in there like that, and then that can go on there. Crikey. It's still Sunday. It's coming up to Sunday lunchtime. So just press that in there. And then I'm going to put on there a flanged nut so it grips the plastic and it won't come loose. Get that as straight as possible, and then I can just knit that up. That's one. Remember, these are not in the kit, these are what I've made for the purpose of fitting the false wall in the cab. Just showing you how easy it is to do. Yeah, check out that video, it's quite informative. You might pick something up that's tight enough, and I can put those 2 spacers in there like that. So they are just going to hold up this wall. Make sure those spacers are and again 2 flanged nuts on the back of that. I do like to see if anything's loose or it has play in it. I like to call it acceptable tolerance, but these are quite snug actually. So tighten that in there and just lift that, fit that. We'll have a bit of a gap just here, So with the pliers we can just adjust that around so it's straight, and now it is perfect, and that hole will come through all the wires. So get all the wires. This is from the control box, the fifth wheel, micro switch, front and rear, 2 front servos, 1 rear servo, multifunction control panel, and we just push those all through here. Push the longer ones through first, just to give ourselves that room to work. Where's that other servo lead? There she is. They use the 6mm that just drop into these 4 holes. Oh, just went in nicely, that, and there. Again, I might be removing this if I need to make myself more room, just to get the rear lights in. So I am prepared for taking stuff off again. Don't be annoyed with yourself if you find yourself doing that. Just nip those up, and all that will sit nicely underneath the MFC when it's in, which is to hand just here. The receiver also, as usual. Let me get you over there, and let's zoom in that little bit. So that's the false wall. Zoom out a little bit, and now that is in place. The receiver I always put up here, double-sided tape. These leads J4, 5, 6 and 7, they will plug into there. This will fit into there like that. Now these servo leads, I've noticed they are a little on the short side, so what I'm just going to find out now before we get too far ahead is, will they fit in there? Get that up out of the way. Well, the simple answer is going to be not without stretching them, and I don't like stretching my servo leads. So in my box of many spares, I have a short servo extension cable which I can put on there, and then that will comfortably reach. I think I'll get another one out and put it on there, and that's it. At this point in the build with the MFC is we cannot do stage 37. We can't do that just yet. Let me get down here. That's it. We can't do stage 37 yet because that's setting the steering up, and I don't want to be plugging all this in just to get a signal from that, just to set that servo up, because what we can do is we can set that up after everything's together, because all we do is we turn the truck over and we can get to the servos very easily to get to, so I'm not going to be too worried about those. So yeah, that's going to be that. Before I go, I don't know if you've seen that last video, but where is that graphic? I printed a graphic off on my computer, so when this sleeper cab, I just wind all those wires in there so I can put the sleeper on. When this sleeper is fitted like that, you can see that rear panel just there. So what I did is I went and printed off a moving on graphic that I found from Big Rig t-shirts, right? And that's on self-adhesive paper, printed onto self-adhesive printer paper, and then I sealed that in with a acrylic lacquer, and that is just going to fit behind there, so you can just see it, right? It just takes that blackness away, and when this cab goes over the top, like that, you can just see that. I'll move it down so you can see the moving on sticker. That's just printed on there. I will be illuminating this cab, and then this cab, get those motor wires tucked out of the way, and now we have a preview of things to come. And if I get, let me just get my flashlight. Typical, just looked at my flashlight, the batteries were dead. So when that cab is illuminated, you will see that in there. It's just going to take that blackness away. I like it. I know it's there. I know you're not going to see it, so don't worry too much. But I will be putting some Kenworth logos on top of those seat headrests. So yeah, that is looking like it's taking shape. Let me move that over there. That is taking shape. Very happy with that. What is the next steps for this awesome looking truck? Gearbox setup. Yeah, well, I'll briefly explain that. What we're going to do here is we're going to be building the wheels on the next video. We're going to be fitting the wheels on the next video. We're going to be fitting the front and rear bumpers. So I'm going to be going through stage 38, 39, 40 and 41. And then after that, we start to put the shiny stuff on there. That's getting to be exciting. Small things. So yes guys, thank you very much. We've just covered 33 to 37. We'll be going back over 37 in the next video. So yeah, great stuff guys. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and just give me a like on that because YouTube algorithms like that. And at the same time, subscribe so you don't get any missed episodes. Fantastic stuff guys. Thank you for supporting the channel, and we'll see you soon.